look at what's being discussed. And there's a lot of noise. So I'm going to kind of break this down from the beginning again. And I think it's important for us to reflect on what's happening with the US dollar. So we'll start over there, okay? First of all, let's clarify. I think we're all aware that those in power have weaponized the US dollar. They've weaponized the Federal Reserve. They've weaponized the Treasury Department. And they've done this while still holding their position as the world reserve currency. Once we look at that macro picture there, now we can look into what's happened in the past. What we've seen in the past is that whenever a country tries to deter or dares to break away from the grip of the United States dollar, guess what happens? And we've seen this many times. The CIA, the military industrial complex, the Mossad intelligences, and even MI6, they swoop in just like that. The same thing that happened in Iraq, Libya. They assassinate those in power that try to dare to challenge that authority. So let's bring it now to the present. Where does that leave the rest of the world and the dollar today, in today's world? The first thing we have to do is look at the macro scale picture here of what's going on. And we see for the first time in history that all countries around the world together are rising up to challenge the dominance of the US dollar. And we can talk about and tie this into what the BRICS is doing. They're pushing for a gold-backed currency. We can also, interestingly, this is very interesting, and we've spoken at length about this with Andy Schectman and many others. The chief economic advisors for the Biden administration, that's the current administration in power right now that is wielding this power, Lael Brainard and Jared Bernstein, they have openly shared and talked about their benefits of losing the dollar's reserve status. So what I'm trying to say is that it's very clear something big is happening very quietly behind the scenes with the reserve currency of the world. And us, through this open discussion, and many people in the community, whether they have all the facts or not, we are all together trying to piece this together. And based on the research and the data that we've been digging into, but we don't have all the pieces. And this is where it gets interesting. Out with the old, in with the new. Is there a reset coming? Yes, there is. So now we're going to shift it to Ripple and XRP. First of all, we have to remember that XRP is not just another cryptocurrency, right? It's a game-changing technology. It's technology that serves as not just a bridge currency, a liquidity tool, a settlement mechanism that allows all countries, again, to go in and out of their traditional fiat currencies and whatever currencies they have. So it's a bridge mechanism that allows all countries, again, to go in and out of their traditional fiat currencies and whatever currencies they have. So it's a bridge mechanism, a settlement mechanism. So that means that eventually, and this is where it's all going if you do your research, that every country around the world eventually will have its own currency not tied to the US dollar. So that's what XRP does. XRP is a tool. Remember, it's a tool to pave the way for international sovereignty in the monetary system. And right now, based on what we see, we can 100% confirm that countries all over the world are trying to strengthen up their currencies by holding hard assets. And that's, again, why central banks around the world are buying gold and also simultaneously dumping US treasuries very gradually, okay? So two things we have to get straight. Number one is that you're going to see a lot of news. Every day, every other day, there's some announcement coming from Ripple. And, sadly, the YouTube and Twitter space is so toxic, in my opinion. And that's why I refrained from tweeting as much as I used to. It's just people are looking for clicks. There's so much bullshit and noise out there that you have to filter out. And this is really what I tell a lot of my friends out there. Secondly, we have to not forget that Ripple and XRP, again, are two very distinct and separate things, two different entities. Number one, XRP is a tool that's used by Ripple to grease the wheels, if you will. for transactions and settlements, and again, bridging currencies with instant settlement and using on-demand liquidity, okay? So where does this leave stablecoins, and how does it fit into all of this? And we have to, again, go back to what's happening with the US dollar and what happened right now with their stablecoin initiative. This is just a sign that governments are actually throwing their weight behind what Ripple is doing and Ripple's technology, which again uses XRP, the tool, to seamlessly bridge and set the rules for all transactions in this frictionless system, seamless, or whatever you want to call it, okay? So what does it mean? It means that basically the big deals are going down behind closed doors. And I swear to God, you have to live under a rock not to see how this is playing out. And again, most people do live under a rock these days, you know, even in the space. It's kind of funny. This is not about the retail market. This is not about you, Edo. This is not about me. This is not about any of our listeners here. This is much fucking bigger. It's about countries and governments all over the world to reclaim financial sovereignty in a new monetary system. So let's talk about stablecoins now in today's world. And we talked about this last time. People should go back and watch the last video. Stablecoins are the real deal. They have tangible use cases. They allow financial institutions to tether, peg, if you will, digital money, which is, again, what a stablecoin is. It's a digital crypto or digital currency. They can peg it or tether it to fiat currencies, to hard assets like gold, or whatever, a basket of commodities, sugarcoat it all you want, or even the bond market. So for those who truly understand how money works and how all these changes are happening in the financial system, understand that financial institutions, how they operate, everything we've been talking about is essentially falling into place. It confirms what we've been talking about for years. Ripple's technology, again, Ripple and XRP, two different things, but the technology, it's the protocol, is being ingrained onto every payment system all over the world, into the global financial system. And XRP, again, is set to be the tool, the grease, the wheels for all the money in the world to transact and move around. So it's very clear what's going on here. And I know I took a while to explain this, but I keep saying this, people don't understand how this technology even works. And they have all these conversations about it without even understanding the fundamentals behind it.
In my opinion, everything has been decided a long time ago.
Yes.
Whenever I'm doing my research and I step into documents from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, the Bank of International Settlements, they refer to XRP as a stablecoin too. It also has capabilities to settle transactions that somehow mimic a stablecoin, hence perhaps the reason why they describe it as a stablecoin. But you will see many experts that they believe they know more than the IMF, they believe they know more than the Bank of International Settlements, and they will say that that's a misinterpretation. In the end of the day, I choose to trust what the IMF says or what the Bank of International Settlements is saying. And I'm just hearing some of the comments here. So do we buy this stablecoin and ditch XRP? I think if you're making this question, you're not really getting what we are saying. 2 weeks ago, I was on the Paris Blockchain Weekend. Most of the discussions were about interoperability, the capability for blockchains to connect and interact with each other. So it's going to be a big thing in the future. And you don't really have to find only one. We have multiple blockchains with different use cases, just like XRP, it's for tokenization and cross-border payments. XLM also does this role of tokenization. Corda, XDC, smart contracts integrating features as well. So you don't really have to find only one blockchain, but there is going to be, in my opinion, a basket of currencies, and why not be diversified in many of these assets?